Follow us and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show.
Yes, Edo people and Nigerians across the world, top of the day to you. This is the Comrade Show, and my name is Comrade Lante Ikmousa Oriahi. This is Hard Gist on the Comrade Show, and this afternoon we have an engagement with somebody, the Coordinator General of the United Kingdom of Great Benin, just to establish a framework of our discourse. A couple of weeks back, the group, United Kingdom of Great Benin, came together to mark the anniversary of the British expedition of Benin Kingdom in a war, that lasted about 10 days to 2 weeks. He's going to be telling us, giving us some of those details. Wherein the Oba Benin at the time was taken to Calabar by the British, and Benin artifacts, treasury, and so many things were looted. The Benin nation was grossly decimated by the British, and all of that event of 1897, they are all still lingering to today, to the extent that the Benin nation is doing everything to ensure that thousands of artifacts stolen by the British that are across different museums across the world, they are returned. And gradually, we are beginning to see moves that some of these things are being returned. But we are bringing the Coordinator General of the UKGB to talk about the significance of this expedition and why they are marking this anniversary, what it all means. Please, if you are joining us, share this broadcast. I think it's going to be quite exciting. On that note, I want to quickly bring on our brother, Prince Jesse Osenigi Isibor, the Coordinator General of UKGB. Mr. Osenigi, you are welcome to the program, sir.
Oh, yes, my prince, how are you?
Not bad. I'm doing all right. And yourself, how are you doing?
Yeah, we thank God and our ancestors for their goodness. Thank you, my prince.
God bless you, sir. Anniversary. It's been over 100 years. Why now?
Yes, my prince, thank you very much for that good question. We just round up an anniversary, tag the year 1897, an event that we will never forget, the year that we will never forget. So, which on the 9th of February was the first day that a bomb and fires and bullets and death came into our land. So from that very day till on the 18th, there were still killings and destruction, until finally the full city was burned down and our artifacts was looted, and Benin was desecrated, and our king was sent to exile. So all these things happened because of a certain group of people sat down in Berlin, and they decided to share Africa among themselves. And it happened that our territory fall into the territory that has got into the share of the British. So we are not in this matter, the Beninese, we are not on the wrong side. We are just a people and a country who we are already having business and diplomatic relations with other nations. But in this, invaders came in and destroyed everything. So, and all our heroes who stood to defend the land, like Asoro, Boihini, and others, citizens of the great United Kingdom of Great Benin, who stood to defend the land. So we find it fit as good citizens of this nation, to stand up and remember them, and also to let the whole world know that the fight that our heroes fought will never go in vain. So this was the reason why we all came out this from on the 9th to on the 18th. We were, outside the street of our kingdom, and the grave or the status of our heroes, remembering them that we still stand for what they believe and died for, which is the unification and the restoration of our dear kingdom, meaning Benin must remain a sovereign nation. So that was what they died for. And Benin have suffered for 125 years since this invasion. And people that were once regarded as the highest in the territory that we know today as southern Nigeria are now being relegated almost to nothing. So, and we know what is currently also going on in Nigeria. This is a country that these so-called people who had meetings in Berlin have shared among themselves, and they begin to rename us as a property. So, and all this while have not favored any of us. So this is why we are doing what we are doing, and we are letting all the everyone to know that what we are doing is for the betterment of Africa and for the betterment of the Black race at large. So this is why everyone must join us as we journey together for the unification and the restoration of our dear nation that was interrupted in the year 1897.
Some people may ask, Benin is already part of Nigeria. And looking at the geographical definition, they will say that Benin is part of Edo State. And so when you say United Nations of Great Benin, and you're talking of emancipation, to have an independent Benin nation, and looking at this geographical mathematics within the Nigerian state and all of that, how do you think this can be, achieved? Particularly when Nigeria already described or defined the Benin nation as a minority, so to speak.
The truth is that the Benin and the Kingdom of Great Benin has been existing, and it will continue to exist. Nigeria just came in yesterday, so we don't have any issue with Nigeria. It wasn't Nigeria that interrupted us. So we are people of Great Benin. We have been living, and we will continue to live. So when you look at our aims and objectives, we are ready to work with the government of the day. We are ready to work with international communities, and we are ready to work with organizations and even corporate bodies and individuals. We know what we are talking about. It is our right. We were justly treated. We were brutalized. Millions of Benin were killed, and our king was not justly judged, and our treasure has been scattered all over the world. We are not fools even if we have kept quiet for 125 years, So what we are doing is our right, and it is our birthright. And just as I said earlier, what we are doing is not for the betterment of Benin alone. It is for the betterment of Black race at large. And so all of us must join hands together to restore, the Kingdom of Great Benin. So the whole world already know who we are. They know how we are treated. They know the value of the property that belongs to us that is all over the world. So we know what we are doing. So we urge everyone to understand where we stand, and their support is highly welcome for the actualization of the restoration of our kingdom.
Talking of restoration, you said the United Kingdom of Great Benin. United Kingdom. Who are the kingdoms that make up this United Kingdom?
Yes, in when you go back to our old moms and the territory of Benin Kingdom and the territory of the empire itself, you see that he stretches all the way from the eastern part of Nigeria to southern part and to the southwest area, and stretch to what we know today as the Republic of Benin, and even up to some area in Ghana. So, but what why we call it a United Kingdom is that there are people who are in this geographical area that they were sovereign nations of themselves and that united together as a people, you know. So so these the same people are coming together again as a united body, you know, to reorganize themselves for the betterment of human race. And you know, so there are kingdoms and kingdoms and kingdoms. If you know that, if you know what I'm talking about, if you know the history of Benin, if you know those who make up Benin, you know that there are kingdoms and kingdoms all together, you know. So we are all together, and there is no one that is more Benin than each one of us. That is what our forefathers stood for, and that was what the program that they laid down.
Okay, some people may be curious because I saw your group, and of course I've seen some of the activities that you guys are involved in. Young men, young people from Edo State, full of energy. Some people may be curious and they may want to know: are you guys alone in this drive, or do you have the authorities of the land, you know, with you?
The authorities of the land is for everybody who mean well for human race. So of course they are aware of Benin. The whole world is aware of Benin Kingdom. So it's not an needy
No,
nation.
when I mean the authorities of the land, for instance, I'm you know, making, you know, some reference to the palace of the Oba of Benin, for instance. It was a palace that symbolizes the authority of the land, even before we start talking about, you know, some other authorities beneath.
To the best of my knowledge, I understood that our ancestors, they are the same of yesterday, today, and forever. So we understood what they stand for. And so what they stand for is still what they stand for. So that is why Oba Aborame stood his ground and he was sent to exile. You know, so
What did they stand for?
they stand for the sovereignty of Benin. That is what they stand for, and that is what the stick stand for. So that I hope that I've answered your question.
Yes. I'm just getting the perspective of it. So this whole drive is about the sovereignty of Benin Kingdom. But trying to look at this and you know, put it in proper perspective. I did remember when we were, you know, looking at the what's it called, the nationalist era of Nigeria. Nigeria was fighting to become a sovereign nation, you know, to get freedom from the British. Now, who are the United Kingdom of Great Benins under your coordination looking to get that sovereignty from?
Yeah, just as I said, the United Kingdom of Great Benin is a sovereign nation. It will remain a sovereign nation. So it doesn't. It's not that you don't get what you have from anywhere. It's you. So we are talking of Benin. You know, so Benin has been living and he will continue to live. You know, so and that is the area people must understand. so that they will not be misquoting, and trying to assume on, So we are people, and every Benin descendant know themselves. So you don't, because you know who you are. If Wike can still come out and tell the whole world that he's a Benin person, no, don't you know that he know what he's saying? So if the Oba of Lagos can come out and say he's a Benin person, you think he's joking? He know what he's saying. So if the Obi of Iseluku come out and say he's a Benin man, don't you know he know what he's saying? We all know what we are saying. So we all know where we are, and we all know what we are talking about.
Okay, based on your movement, the United Kingdom of Great Benin, what are you proposing that the Benins, because I understand from you earlier in an interview that the Benins are not just the Benin speaking people, they include the Esans, the Urobos, the Bankers, the so many other tribes around the nation. What are you proposing, by your group, that the Benin should start doing going forward towards the
Yes, that is.
realization of all of these holistically?
Yes, the first of all, this is why we are talking of the unification. We a lot, because of the brutalization and the intimidation that they have, they did to us. A lot of Beninese we are being, intimidated, and they withdraw to themselves. So we are speaking to them that now is the time for us to identify ourselves, be bold of your culture, be bold of your heritage, be proud to say who you are, be proud of being yourself. So it is the same structure that our ancestors laid down that still remain. And the structure that our ancestors laid down was for everybody to govern themselves. That is why they all have their own head. So the structure still remains the same. We're going to just be working on the polishing it and coming out together as a family to draw up and balance how we should move together as a family. So all the people who fall into the jurisdiction of Benin has always been there from the very beginning, and they are still there alive as we are talking. So you don't force somebody to be himself. We are who we say we are. So that is why all the Benin descendants who their forefathers stood and strengthened this kingdom, they are still very much alive, and all what connects all of us together, which we all know, is the Ada and Eben. So we all know who we are. So I urge everyone as a citizen or descendant of our great nation to come together this time and let us find a lasting solution to the pain that have befall us, due to the invasion of our kingdom. So now that a lot of threat is going on all over the world, and especially in our dear kingdom currently, due to some also invaders, and this we cannot tolerate anymore as a people, for we have suffered enough. So we must reorganize and reprogram our system for the betterment of humanity.
Splendid. Recently, the Palace of the Oba of Benin received, two very important, pieces of artifacts stolen by the British, during the expedition, and a lot of people have been happy. How do you, under UKGB, feel about this return that people believe is marking the beginning of, a process?
Yes, the Benin is actually a nation that is being programmed or designed by God Himself. When these artifacts were taken long time ago, I want everyone to know that these artifacts are not just mere artifacts; they were our library. When our library were being desecrated and they were taken, and a lot of people also thought that these things cannot return back because they cannot see the possibility of how something that these people have stolen, they burn down the whole city, how is it going to come back? But because Benin is a spirit, you know, because we, all the descendants of Benin, all of us are, you know, involved in this thing. And also, it has been written that the way they take it, the same way they will return it. So they are returning it. Yes, it's good, but they must return it with honor. What they did now, we thank the people who volunteer, because this is just the college, not the government of Britain. You know, it is just a college that brought this to. So we are also using this opportunity to speak to the British government, and also to Her Majesty herself, the Queen of Britain, that they should look into the affairs of Benin, that we, the Beninese, have been brutalized and have been victimized. So we are peace lovely people, but we don't want to be you know, driven too far. For 125 years, we have kept quiet for humanity to rewrite the history by doing what is right. So all our artifacts that is scattered all over the world, not that they will only return it, they will also, you know, compensate us for the evil or the wrong that they have done to us. Not only compensating us, they have to join us for the restoration of our kingdom. So these are what is going to qualify them, you know, that we give them a reason to actually claim the kind of power or the kind of righteousness that they are claiming to have. So we are ready to work with them, just as I said. Thank you.
Splendid. I just want to move into a different area, so but within the same context. On the 14th of February, I know that many members of your group, as a matter of fact, your group championed, you know, the idea that the 14th of February, which is usually a day where, you know, when love is celebrated, with some Saint Valentine capturing that particular, you know, moment. Your group, you know, and as well as some other groups, you know, Benin groups, champion the process to say that Queen Eden should be remembered on that day. That day, as a matter of fact, should be Queen Eden's day, and all of that. How did you people come to that agreement?
Yes, Queen Eden, our mother, just as I always tell people, anything that has to do with Benin is for all. There is no one that is more Benin than each one of us. So this February 14, which our prince, Prince Izodua, came out boldly, not just this year, he has been doing it, he came out boldly, and even when a lot of us are not seeing these things before, in our heart, just the way a lot of our people are not seeing the restoration of our dear kingdom. So, but he took that boldness and say, hey, we must do it February 14, which is some years ago. And ever since then, I, as a person, even before then, even when I've gotten the revelation, but because of the zealous love that this our prince put into it, I myself become part of it, because the spiritual connection of Queen Eden is in short, is beyond human imagination, because Queen Eden gave her life willingly, you understand, to the restoration and the unification of our kingdom, which we are standing for. So she has paid that price, and we must not let this price go in vain. He died for our kingdom to be a sovereign nation. He died for our kingdom to be unified. He died for it to be restored. So on that day, this is why it's part of what we did, and we put ourselves together as a citizen and said we must honor our Queen Eden. So this is why we are also telling all Benin's citizens all over the world that we as the citizen of United Kingdom of Great Benin, all the descendants, we must celebrate our own, you know. So I'm encouraging all the Benin descendants. We must encourage our tradition, the connectivity that bring all of us together. We must support it, you know. So Queen Eden Day, a woman who gave her life to for the unification and the restoration of our kingdom. When we were doing it, we saw the kingdom restoring. We saw her tears again. We saw her pain. I don't know if you can transfer your spiritual realm to see your hand is tied down, you know, and you are just willingly giving your hand to be tied, or you willingly put yourself inside a grave, and the willingly, you know, sand is being poured on you. You know, tears of prayers and you know, these things that is making you to give up your life. You have to communicate with the spirit to do it for you. You understand? So those things were Benin were divided. Benin were no longer, you know, worshiping or trying to or doing the right thing. So she gave her life that we must do it. We must join together. We must unify. We must, you know, restore it. So those tears, those pain, that and the spirit accepted it. That is why after she gave her life and the Benin comes together. So that togetherness, we must not break it, because a sacrifice has been paid for it, just the way our Lord Jesus Christ also sacrificed. So we must stand together and continue what she stood for, which is the unification and the restoration of our kingdom. And that is what we ourselves also stand for.
Honestly, I can tell you that it's very, very exciting. What's we're going to round up this broadcast. It's not a very long one. We've had, I mean, time at 30. We've done 30 minutes, like we said we're going to do. What would be your? I know we're going to have you again and other members of the group as we keep projecting the vision of the group. What would be your last word for this particular edition to the people of Great Benin?
Yeah, my last word for them now, or the word I would say is that we must realize the time that we are. The time, a stone that you see coming can never blind your eye. So there is always time for everything. When you check around you, you will know the time. If you really you want to wake up yourself, because we did not just come to this life because we want to eat rice and eat beans. We came for this life for a purpose. And when you look at the time that we are now, we cannot afford to go into esteem. We cannot afford, you know, to fold our hands and, you know, things will be happening, which is not for the favor of humanity at large, you know. So I urge everyone to join us as a people to unify whatever differences that we may have. We have to put it aside and let's come together as a people. We are also using this meeting to call all the professionals to join us as we put head together, as we join it together for the restoration and the unification of our great kingdom. Thank you all.
Yes, viewers and followers of the Comrade Show, we've been having a chat with Prince Jesse Osemige Isibor. He is the Coordinator General of the United Kingdom of Great Benin. Of course, we've heard from him what the UKGB stand for, which is majorly unity, unification of Great Benin, restoration of the land, and of course, it's an open-ended discussion. Definitely, he's going to come back again as some other members of the group. I can tell you that the group is already getting a lot of traction with membership and people who believe in these ideas. Coming to join forces with other members of the group to push the Benin narrative. And a lot of people are proud to be part of this movement, of identity. Uh, Prince Jesse Osevige Isibor, I want to say thank you very much for coming to the program. I do hope that when we call on you next time, you will oblige us.
Thank you, my prince.
God
Thank you
bless you,
very
my
much.
brother. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very
So,
much.
God bless you, my regards to your family, sir. So, do people are Nigerians, that's the coordinator general of UKGB. Meanwhile, let me quickly pass this information. Um, a lot of information is coming out of Russia, particularly within the Nigerian community. I've had cause to speak with a woman, a mother, whose son is a student in Ukraine, in Kiev. And that's following a video put out by Abike Dabiri, of course, providing some numbers that Nigerians can call, that Nigerians should find their way to the border towns, leading to Poland and some other countries, and of course, they will have access from there. But the news we are getting is that people in Kiev and some other parts of Ukraine, as we speak, can hardly, get to those border towns. And some of the Nigerians that have gone to the border towns since the last 2 days, they've not had access. They've not been able to cross. Fire is raging. Ukraine is under serious bombardment. What we can say is, from the Nigerian government, we need more practical solutions. We have about estimated 4,000, Nigerian students trapped right now in Ukraine. Of course, some other Nigerians who are living in Ukraine are trapped right there. We are hoping that they at the end of this storm they are safe, and we're advising for those who can see the comrade show, please stay safe, do the best that you can to stay safe. For those who are able to access the border town, I'm going to be posting Abike Dabiri information on the comrade show wall. Please, let's share it if we're able to get it. If you have it somewhere else, please, let's keep sharing. Let's see if it can be useful to some, as much as possible. Meanwhile, tomorrow is 27th day of February, and on the comrade show, we are going to be playing host to Professor Pat Utomi. It's going to be very exclusive and it's going to be exciting. I want to encourage you, if you are watching us, to take note of this day on the Comrade and Friends on Sunday the 27th by 5 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Nigeria time. We're going to be playing host to Professor Pat Utomi. Please don't miss it. Come to ask your questions as well. The theme of this discourse on our own media live chat is the dynamics of 2023 elections and Nigeria's quest for effective leadership. That is going to be happening tomorrow by 6 p.m. Nigerian time and 5 p.m. UK time. Endeavor to join us. My name is Comrade Lamtek Mamusa Oriahi. It's been the Comrade Show. Thanks for joining. God bless you and bye for now.
Comrade Show, wait. Comrade Lante Oriaki. This is the Comrade Show.